Yeah, how would you like to be mutilated, you mother sucking douche?
Listen.
Yeah?
You yellow rat bastard, why don't you come over and say all these things? You know, your friends gave you away because you bragged about it, what you're doing. So they told me who you are, so I know.
Who am I?
We're going to be talking to one of the guys that made these calls, believe it or not, in just a second.
The main guy.
I'll catch up with you, then you'll find out how those Z, you know how you make a Z? On both cheeks you'll have it.
On both cheeks.
Hello? How's the grave there?
Let's see, you mother sucker here. You sucker, why don't you come over here, face your face? Your mother is a she's a you. Hey, you're a I'm a suck your mother's cat, you son of a bitch. Why, you lousy
Standy Payne?
Hello?
Sally Kramer?
Payne.
Sally Kramer?
Yeah. You mother.
How you doing? How's it going, Jim?
Good, how you doing?
So you making any money off the 2-bar discs yet?
Just enough to pay for the website, you know what I mean?
Is that right? I would think you'd be making money hand over fist.
It ought to be number one on the charts.
Oh, this is huge.
When was the first phony phone call made to Red?
1975. Kind of a boring day, actually, right? So and it was like nothing. Everybody was, at bed, so that's what nobody understands. Like, we didn't just make these calls and they all happen at once, you know what I mean?
Right.
There was 1,000 of them that didn't work. But anyway, we said, let's call that whack job down at Journal Square, that's down in Jersey City, in the middle of Jersey City.
Yeah.
And because we always were passing this place, and this guy was like throwing people out. There was fights in the alleys. And it was so weird because it was like people with suits drinking next to bums.
Yeah. It was that kind of area.
That Jersey City was. That's why it was like a gold mine for us.
Well, it's interesting because the original rumors, just trying to read on this, there's so much information about this. And originally there were rumors that it was these New Jersey cops that were calling and this, that, and the other. And nobody knew it was you guys until much later. In fact, people were selling these tapes and all kinds of stuff.
But we didn't find out it reached the status that it reached until like 1992.
How did it get out, quote unquote?
Well, it was all bootleg.
Oh, it was all bootleg. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I bought the bootleg, and I said, what is this? I said, this is all our stuff. It was mixed in with a whole bunch of other stuff. Then we hooked up with this guy, Detonator. They had the Jerky Boys at the same time.
Right.
In the studio at the same time.
Yeah.
And they were a lot cleaner. Plus, they were getting getting releases from the people they called.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't care about who we called. They concentrated more on them, I guess. In the beginning, because we were both there at the same time. But our stuff was too over the top, I guess. I don't know.
Because did you know that these that all these rumors going on that the New Jersey cops, that people thought that they had done the calls and all this?
People write in and tell us all these things, and so after Detonator screwed us, we released Tavern Tour, which was the second album. John and I just released that on our own, and that went nowhere too. So it's marketing. We didn't have the marketing, we didn't have the money.
Right.
So this is like the third shot at the thing.
Yeah. Well, what we got out now is the collector's item, which is the original one, the Dunbar Bass's 2-bar and Tavern Tour all on one album.
And where was the 2-bar? Get into, if you could explain where the 2-bar was or is, why it got that name, and Red and who he is.
2-bar it was in the middle of Jersey City. It's a place called Journal Square, where like all the trains and buses, come to go wherever they're going to go.
Okay.
He opened this bar in 1930, I think. 1931.
Wow.
He was like all kinds of boxes and hoods used to hang out in there, including like Lepke. This is stuff we also found out from people that hung out in there. Lepke, Rocky Marciano. There's a picture of him with Rocky Marciano on.
Wow.
No kidding.
Man.
They got their fists up, because I guess Red was a fighter too. But I think everybody was a fighter.
Yeah, Red's a fighter, all right.
Yeah.
He used to sit up behind the bar with a baseball bat, and like he had these. The thing about the 2-bar, he had these bartenders that looked like people you'd meet in a dark alley. These guys that grease down here. When you go in there, you give them a buck and they throw the change back at you. It's like, and you couldn't drink beer at the bar. You had to move over to the other side. He had a free lunch and like a little slab of wood.
Why? Because beer was cheap, so he wanted you away from the bar.
Yeah, and he'd work the bar and say, hello, sir, hello, sir. And if you were drinking beer, he'd throw you to the other side. You know, just taking Trey over there. He'd headbutt people, hit them over the head with bats. I mean, we saw this stuff.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
And this is afterwards, you know, after we called him.
And he'd hit people. Yeah, why would he hit somebody over the head with a bat? Just because they're misbehaving or something?
Yeah, because he told him to move and they didn't move fast enough.
It was
usually a headbutt. The bat was, I guess you had to do something worse than that, you know. First he hit you across the back of the legs with the bat.
And was it true that women weren't allowed in this bar? And
yeah, even you know, even in 1970, I think they passed a law that women had to be allowed at the bar too, you know.
Well, why were women not allowed? That sounds kind of gay.
New York and New Jersey, both. In New York City, the women weren't allowed to bar to. They could sit down.
Oh, so this went back to the old days.
Yeah.
Nice changing with the times, Red.
Well, except for Red, because that guy, he said, yeah, laws. What are you talking about, laws, right? He had his own law, you know?
Yeah,
it's funny, Jim. I can recognize in his voice, you ain't got no $100.
Absolutely.
That's you, isn't it, Jim?
$100? Yeah, just a Continental Insurance. You're going to need some insurance, and let me beat the out of you, yeah.
How many guys make calls that are on these tapes?
The Reds are mostly me and John. I think it was all me and John.
You and John? How old were you guys when you were doing this?
Late teens.
Late teens?
Late teens?
Right. Let's listen to a call
here. Is that right?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
This is Tuba?
Yeah.
Is that you?
I wonder if you can help me out.
That's you, isn't it?
Phil Myers?
Yeah, that's me.
Myers?
Phil Myers.
Myers, yeah.
Phil Myers. Phil Myers. Nobody but that name.
You're not there?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Hello?
Hello? Sister Tuba in Jersey City?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to know if you could tell me if there's an I'll kill you there.
Who?
I'll kill you?
I'll kill you.
Yeah, kill you. Right.
What's his name?
I'll kill you.
How do you spell it? I'll be able to announce it really.
Oh, okay. K-I-L-L-E-U.
Hey, Jim, do people the people in the background, we hear them a lot, do they know what's going on?
No, that's another one of the misinformation stories that, you know, some guy said, oh, yeah, everybody knew what was going on. Nobody knew what was going on in the place.
Did people call that bar constantly getting people paged?
No, I don't think so. You know what?
Because I can't believe he goes for it as many times as he does. It's like,
really.
how stupid is this guy?
Yeah, well, I guess, I don't know. He was like different, I guess. The nice thing about it is he used to have to crawl, like he had this big bar and he had a high spot on it where he like bend down to get under the bar to answer the phone. It was on the wall, you know. It wasn't behind the bar. And so that must have pissed him off more. He kept having to run under the bar. You know, he was pretty big. He was about 6'2", 2-something.
Is that right? No kidding.
You know, I think my favorite, well,
Wow.
there's so many things I like about these calls, but one of them is when you claim when he says, I'll kick your ass, and you claim you were just down there.
I said, it's just down there. I'm trying to kick your ass for a couple of months. What's the matter, you know? And like, he starts to growl, yeah.
Yeah, that just infuriates him. It's like, you know, the possibility that he missed a chance to kick your ass just makes him so mad.
And I love it, too, when he starts referring to you being yella and you know, just those old expressions, you know.
Yeah, how would you like to be mutilated, you mother sucker douche?
Listen,
Yeah?
you yellow red bastard, why don't you come over and say all these things?
I've been there.
You know, your friends gave you away because you bragged about it, what you're doing. But they told me who you are, so I know.
Who am I?
So I know who you are.
Yeah.
So just wait until I catch
You
up
know
with
what?
you.
You're a stupid
When I'll catch up with you, then you'll find out how those Z, you know how you make a Z? On both cheeks you'll have it.
What is he talking about, the Z's? What are the Z's?
Yeah.
Another thing, as near as we can figure, like the mark of the squirrel. In the old days, the gangs used to put like a mark on your cheek if you were a squirrel. If you squirreled on them, you know, the old gangs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jersey City and stuff like that. Like, I mean, that's all it was. It was a bunch of, people say mafia, but it was more than mafia. It was all kinds of gangs. Irish gangs, it was Jewish gangs, it was everything, man.
Now, did that scare you when Red says,
Wow.
I know who you are? You thinking, I'm not going down there anymore?
Nah, I mean, you gotta realize how we grew up in Jersey City. I mean, it was like, we had to fight our way into grammar school,
Yeah.
So you knew he was BSing you about that?
Not really. We didn't know, but, we weren't going to go down there anyway, so.
I mean, did you tell a lot of people about what you were doing?
The people who hung out, because John and I were in bands, that's how I met John, is trying out for his band. We were musicians. And I got the job from Warner Brothers. We figured, that'd be great for our career, which, of course it wasn't. But, it just was word of mouth. That's how they spread. That was what was so amazing to us. So how can this happen, man? We don't even know,
Yeah, and nobody ever at the time that Red was alive, nobody ever knew that you guys were doing it or anything like that to tip him off so that if you were to walk in there that he would in fact kill you,
Yeah, because we figured out maybe he'd be a nice guy and laugh about it, but the people who actually knew him, no, he'd kill you. There's no two ways about it. There's one way in the tube bar, and you'd never get out of it.
These calls are, you can finally get all these calls on iTunes. The quality is pretty damn good. How did you record these calls in 1975 and get the quality you're getting?
These are remastered. That's what I wanted to tell you about. We remastered them with my production company. It's because on the degraded copies, you couldn't even hear that stuff. Now you hear like one of them is like a football game going on. It's like somebody wrote tell me what football game it was.
Right. Because how did you originally record them? I mean, what was your setup?
The reason we got them so clean in the first place was John put a guitar jack right into the phone.
Oh, no kidding.
We used to play these through a Marshall,
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, wow.
So, it was like we just right to tape,
Oh,
so,
God, yeah.
A lot of the names that you guys use are so stupid that I can't even believe he calls out, like, I'll kill you and stuff. Was that just stuff that you came up with, or had you heard other people make these calls?
Total improv. Right before I called, I think of the most idiotic thing I could think of.
No kidding. It's totally improv.
And as it progressed, I had to come up with names that he'd mutilate properly.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite name or least favorite name?
Well, one of the favorites is the way John goes, stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah.
And he always picked up a laugh. I don't know how he ever did. Every time I left, like Stanley Payne, when I thought he said Stanley Steamer. So I started to laugh.
Stanley Kramer.
Hello, Red there?
Yeah.
Is Stewie there?
Who?
Stu.
What's Stu?
Pitt. P-E-I-T.
Stupid?
P-E-I-T?
Yeah.
Well, you mother... Why don't you come down here, you sucker? I'll cut your belly open, you mother... Why don't you go on to your mother, you son of a bitch, you lucky yellow bastard.
I'm coming down.
You know what? I love it. I just adore it when you lose it like that, and then he's wise to it right away. Sometimes you barely laugh, but he just hears it, and boy, that's off he goes.
That was instant death if we walked in at that point.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, you'd have been finished.
Another good one was,
Hey, tell me what he looked like. What did Red look like, and what did he die of?
I have such a picture of him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was a heavy duty vet. He died. He was like 95, I think, when he died. 96. He died down in Palm Beach.
Palm Beach. Would have old age or what? You know?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or from the calls.
1980.
Yeah.
They were calling him to the last day he died.
Yeah. And what did he look like? You said it was like 6'2" something. What color hair? I mean, what did he look like?
He didn't look like his voice that much. He looked kind of pleasant. I got a picture of him, an older picture. There's a picture of him from the 50s, so I guess he was about 60 at the time. The one we have on the website of him like with his fist out. I don't know if they left the Rocky Marciano or they cut Rocky Marciano out on it, but you can see a good shot of him when he was in his 50s or 60s. Well, he obviously was somebody nobody messed around with.
Yeah. Was he married? Do you know or?
Oh, yeah, he was married to one woman for how many years? We called his house that one time. We usually don't ever call people's houses.
Oh, man, that must have freaked him out.
Yeah, that's the one where you hear the lady talking. That's his wife. And,
I never heard that one.
Marina. That's the one. I know the bar's on fire. I called up his bar, right? And some Spanish guy answered. He goes, "No, there's no heat today." Blah blah blah. So I said, "Okay." So we looked up, and here he is on Glenwood Avenue. He said, "Oh, this got to be him, Deutsch." So we called him up, and we only got one of those left. We had a whole series of them, and we went over them. Drunken, one of the usual
taped over him
mistakes. Yeah. Anyway. I said, hello, Red, the bar's on fire. He goes, blah, blah, blah. He's like making all this noise. He drops the phone. He takes a taxi cab down to the bar. So I call his house right back, and Sweat goes, the bar's on fire. He's on the way down to the bar. You know? And then I call the bar, and then he left. He had already gone back home, and then I called him at home.
Oh, he must have been.
The bar's on fire. He goes, you lousy. And not once did he say the F word in front of his wife.
Oh!
That's on the album. Yeah, that's on the album. But that's the only one we got left. We had the other ones were funny. It was like a good series.
Did Red know
amazing.
that he and the Tube Bar had become famous?
Nah, I don't think so.
He had no idea.
No, somebody must have. See, we took it to one party. Okay, we took it to work, and we took some. We were like trying out some a bass player or a guitar player or something, and we were loaded to the gills, and we were playing it like in the corner for a couple of people. And then somebody says, "That's Mr. Deutsch." That's again is the only time I think. I said, Mr. Deutsch. So we left that party real quick, you know, because he must have been his neighbor or something, you know.
Oh, boy.
So like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, I'm going to go tell him, you know, he didn't say anything like that. But that, about the next day or the next time we call, that's when he did your friends, I just heard it, they double-crossed you. You know?
They double-crossed you.
Wow.
You know,
there was so many people in that place, man. It was like wall to wall. It was like 4 deep, you know, and there was one bathroom. That's the other thing. Like if you had, we were in there one time.
One bathroom.
Yeah, it was one bathroom, and it was like full. So this guy goes, the bathroom's full. He was a stutterer, this guy, Bruce, you know. He goes, piss in the sink. He pushes him up to the sink.
Do you...
Like, all this crap, and this was like, it was I just wish I had a camera, man. But this was like, again, in the 70s. You know,
wow.
Now, will the Simpsons ever give you any credit for Moe and Bart?
Man, I hope they will at some point, because there's some articles, or again, somebody sent me about Groening admitted that, yeah, that's what he used Moe. He based Moe on the call.
He heard the calls. Right. Oh, how did Matt Groening hear those calls?
That's what I mean. I don't know. How did we get letters from like in foreign languages, German and French.
Somehow it just gets around.
Talking about, yeah?
It just gets around, man. It just it's amazing.
God,
but
that's amazing.
Word of mouth is so strong, and start passing tapes around.
What I'm doing now is I'm putting together like a book/screenplay. You know? Mm-hmm. Maybe with the help of you guys, I can get somebody interested in helping me.
Oh, are we going to Broadway, or are we making a movie?
I don't care where we're going, just as long as we're growing.
He wants some dough. Well, here's the website again. I know that we're going to sell a lot of these in Detroit because these are very popular.
TubeBarPrankCalls.com.
And what does it cost to get the to get Big Red?
99 cents a call.
99 cents a call on iTunes?
Yeah, you can get both of them for $10, right? Just like $10 or something like that.
Oh, for 10? You can get all the calls for 10.
Yeah, and then the new stuff we're working on, which should be released in a month or two, is tentatively called Drunk, Dirty, and Disgraceful, which gets it right on the head. This is all stuff that's never been released.
And that's Red too?
There'll be the Great Lost Red call, I think, on that one. And there's one call that no one's ever heard. The last call I ever made to Red. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I got one. I held one back, you know.
And what else is on there?
It's all these other bars are called the Naked Ape, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff with these people. A lot of highly charged, shall we say, calls.
Sure. Yeah.
This is stuff that really no one's ever heard. This is stuff that we just did and collected, you know.
Well, I don't know why anybody would buy one call for 99 cents. You might as well just buy the whole bunch of them for $10 for crying out loud.
Yeah, there's another there's our website, which is
TubeBarPrankCalls.com.
We're talking to Jim Davidson. Jim is one of the guys that made all those infamous calls to Red at the Tube Bar. And one thing that I never quite understood is in reading about this, how is it that all these professional athletes got to be listening to these? Because we heard the New York Mets just roared with laughter listening to these nonstop. The Dodgers used to listen to these, and I think the Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins, yeah.
The New York Walter Cronkite, the New York office of the FBI.
Right. Walter Cronkite?
Yeah.
What?
Apparently, yeah. That's what I said. He probably retired smoking pot and listening to these things.
I cannot imagine Walter Cronkite listening to these.
Yeah, it's like, it's unbelievable and the range of people who like this stuff.
Yeah.
And we got plenty more, and we just got to put it together and get it out.
The guy sounds like
everybody loves Red, but we got other stuff I think they'll like too.
Did you say, or did somebody say that Red was a rich man when he sold Tube Bar?
He'd make over $1 million a year, they told me. Yeah.
What?
Is that right?
But that's how busy this place was. It was nonstop, you know. And he made his own hours. You know how bars are supposed to close at 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
He didn't care what time it was. You know, I mean, he opened at 6. I mean, he didn't open, but he had all these bartenders there. You know.
So he set his own hours.
Yeah.
Now, did he spend the money? Did he live in a big mansion, or was he a cheapskate?
No, he lived, I think, like in an apartment building. I mean, you know, it's a city. A lot of people live in apartment buildings, you know. Like,
That's funny. I mean, but did he drive expensive cars?
I don't even think he drove, that I know of. You know? People just drove. He took a taxi, I think. You know,
man.
Wow.
A taxi down there.
What
I
a
was
piece of
reading, too,
work.
that he supposedly...
Road rage with that guy?
Yeah, no.
I read, too, supposedly he donated a lot to charity. He was a very generous kind of a guy, supposedly.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Well, we'll never know what he would have done to Jim Davidson had he got his hands on him, although I have a feeling he would have kicked his ass
he
pretty
would have
good.
busted you right in two, man.
And the Z on the cheek, no question.
Yeah.
But again...
But, you know, me and John pretty big too, man. So who knows? You know, Jersey City, we had our own gang.
Yeah.
Jim Davidson, thanks for the time. I'm going to put you on hold so you can talk to our producer and maybe we get some copies to give away.
Great, man.
Thanks a million.
Cool.
We'll see. I hope you make some money off this.
Thanks very much.
Okay,
You bet. Hang on.
Good.
TubeBarPrankCalls.com.